Welcome back. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 441, or if you are in my program, it is episode 717. Happy New Year. I know we're on the 12th of January as I'm recording this. Obviously, it may be a day or so later, depending when you are listening to this. But I hope you've started your new year and carried it on exactly the way you wish to ultimately go throughout the whole year. One of the things I know about success is it's all about consistency. The consistency creates the habits, the attitudes, the mindsets. Consistency creates belief systems. The formulation of those beliefs over a period amount of time and energy and emphasis will cause you to have a new outlook. Now, it is so important that we get our mind right. With the right mind, you can go into any situation in a resourceful way. And if we're talking about the right mind, we're really talking about being free of the internal conflict, free of resistance within your system, within your mind and body that will set you free. It is one thing that I am so passionate about. Everyone in my program, whoever we invite into, whoever enrolls in it, it's like we want to make sure they're the right kind of person to make that change. Now, whether you ever wanted to try to get into my program now or in the future, one thing which I always make sure is paramount to anyone, and this is why it'll be applicable to you, are 3 character traits. Now, the first one is being resourceful. You see, you might not have all the answers available, but you sure better be willing to be resourceful enough to look in different directions. You've probably heard me say the behavioral flexibility. The person with the most flexibility in behavior, in their thoughts, their thinking, their beliefs, their behaviors, everything will control the situation. So really think about that. Are you going to be resourceful enough this year to go all in on what you desire? And by the way, there's something exciting I'm going to be telling you about soon. So stay tuned for that in a few minutes or so anyway. But the second aspect, the second trait is this. You've got to have dedication. You see, you can have all the flexibility of your behavior, all the resourcefulness, but if you're not really dedicated to your dream, then there's just no point. You've got to want whatever you want so much that you're willing to do things you've never done before to get all the things you've always wanted to do. It is really about that. What are you willing to give up? Whether it be time, whether it be certain behaviors that are not being productive, whether I was watching movies or going out, are you willing to give something up to get what you've always really wanted? And it's a hard question that only you can answer. Because if you think of the balance of time, we don't have an infinite amount of time. We actually are losing time every minute, every second, every moment. Time is getting less. And what we do with those units of time that we have remaining in our life or within our 24 hours cycle, you've got to prioritize certain units, whether you put into 30-minute slots or 1-hour slots. You've got to utilize that time effectively. I know people who have been crazy successful, have been doing 2 jobs, yet still made adequate time to work upon themselves to get the life they've always wanted. So there is really no excuse or reason, because we're not saying we got to do it for the rest of our life. It could be as little as 8 weeks, 4 weeks. I mean, if you go through my program, of course, we try to do it in a rapid, short amount of time so you get that clean break in being the best person you've always wanted to be. Someone set out a while back to be the best and highest version of themselves, and I love that because that's what we want to deliver. Now, even if it took you, say, another 6 months or a year, depending on how you find that result or that solution, are you still willing to do it? Because you got to be willing to put the time in, the dedication in to get what you want. And then the third trait So we've gone resourceful, we've gone dedication. The third trait is those who take actions. And I say it all the time. Many people will base their decisions, their actions, based on fear. The worries, the doubts, the fears, the limiting thoughts and ideas that they have of what could happen. And sometimes it's okay to be okay about what could happen. That's very stoic to be like that, and that's good. It reduces anxiety. But we should never make decisions based on our fears. We can be clear and very stoic. I did an episode about being more stoicism. If I said that right, you can always search for it in the app or the podcast. But ultimately, you've got to be clear on, look, I'm willing today to make a decision based on what I've always wanted. And think about that for a minute. Are you willing to make a decision for something that you've always craved? I know what it was like to live 18 years of dread and fear and worry, going through school, going into work, just being this broken person, what I perceive to be broken. If someone told me it would cost $5,000 to let go of that issue, $10,000, I would do whatever it takes to make that. I really would. If it cost $30,000, if it was absolute surefire of getting a result, I would go all out in making that decision. Where it took me a year to solve it, find that finance, get that credit, whatever it is. And that's the kind of behavior that I am, really. I mean, that's what I do. I've done things like that, where it be within myself to get the goals that I wanted, or to be able to expand my vision, my business, for example, so I can reach more people. I mean, people go to university and spend like $100,000, $200,000. I've heard some people spend $500,000. So putting an investment into yourself is something we should never be shy about. It should actually be rewarded. It's better than putting it into that $1,000 phone that we have in our hands that we're listening to. It's far better to be able to invest within ourselves. And I don't care, like I said, whether it's with me or other people. Like, the chances are it won't be with me because we're pretty selective. We can only work with a small amount of people because it's so custom and tailored that we get interaction with us, and you get your coach, you get your system, you get your custom and tailored programs designed for you that I create. So we just can't help everyone. We've got the podcast which does that, and I'm very at peace with that because I haven't checked the stats, but we're at least over at about 8 million. But whatever you work with, whether it be us or someone else, you've got to make sure that you're willing to decide on what is good and what is right. I believe you are full of potentiality. I believe that you have all that it takes. And hopefully you get the sincerity within my words. I say it with conviction. I say it with, I hope, a congruence that sings through to you, resonates with you, and goes, look, Joseph, never met him, which you can do soon if you wish, but I kind of trust that guy. I kind of believe that he knows what he's on about. And you probably know things like that. You probably know more than you can imagine, but it's about, like I said, that resourcefulness, that dedication, that willing to take action. I remember a long time ago, I was talking about these kind of like an axis or an axis or whatever it'd be. Again, on the one axis, you'd have, you could say, the inner world, the mindsets, the thoughts, the belief systems, the values going all the way up. And then on the other one, going all the way across, are the behaviors, the things that we do. We've got to make sure we're aiming for like 10 out of 10, because then we're multiplying our transformation. If we just have positive wishful thinking, we're not going to get anywhere. If you think about it, law of attraction, whatever it is, it's still, if you believe in that, it still requires action. All change requires momentum. And that goes within the mind, but also the things that you do, the doing axis. When you're doing things which lead you closer to your goal, 1 hour a day, 5 hours a day, 20 minutes a day, whatever you're putting into your life, you want to be able to gain the interest from it. Whatever you invest within yourself, you're not just letting it go, you want a return within them. And that investment of time, that unit, a 30-minute unit or a 60-minute unit throughout every single day will transform your life. I've read tons of countless books. I've gone on many events. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on just one program. And it's not like I had all the abundance to make it happen, but I was like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm going all in on myself. Because when I operate from my best and highest self, it means everyone else gets value. My career gets more value. My business gets more value. My customers get more value. My wife gets more value. If I had children, my children would, or my pets do at least, right? My family does. So the investment that I put within myself is actually repaid many, many times over, where it be returning in the financial, but also in the quality of connections that we have with other people. So look, really make this year the one where you go, look, 220, that's my year. There's where I'm going to put everything together. I'm going to multiply my business. I'm going to get that promotion as a secure professional. I'm going to go for my dream. I'm going to have the vision, mission, and ambition to get what I want, to be absolutely resourceful, dedicated, and an action taker, not based on fear, but based on what is right, what is good. And then, as a professional, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to operate like a professional. I'm going to invest like a professional. Doesn't have to be money, but we've got to invest in ourselves. And we've got to educate our mind because no one else is going to do it. That's one thing I realized. School was okay for me. I didn't really feel like I got a great amount of knowledge. I don't know if it's because I had my own limiting beliefs, which kind of stopped the absorption of the learnings I could have had. But ultimately, I've learned so much more from the experience and the decision to be more than I can imagine. Whatever I think, I'm always more. And I think that of you. So are you willing to step up today? Are you willing to do something different? Are you wanting and desiring something more out of life? More abundance, more financial abundance, more abundance in your health, more abundance in relationships, more abundance in your spirituality. You can have it all if you choose to go all out for it. It's hard because we don't always give ourselves permission. Like even talking about money can feel like a dirty word, but seriously, no one changes the world being poor. Those who change the world in the most profound way will do so via the abundance of that they have, where it be financially, where it be through heart. But if you combine those together, you are going to transform your family's legacy, your community's legacy, your church's legacy, your favorite charity's legacy. You can be so much more when you decide to go all in on yourself. And that's what I love about you, because I'm sure you're probably going, well, yes, Joseph, I want that. I want to step up for my family. I want to be able to give money to charity. I want that promotion because there's something of more for me to give. I'm not happy playing small. So make a decision, make a declaration that you are going to make a change. You're going to go all out on being the best and highest version of you through love, through confidence and competence, feeling tuned in, being in purpose. That's the vibrancy that we're going for. Whatever you desire, desires you too. But you've got to match your mind, your behaviors into what you desire. Therefore, you are an energetic match. Therefore, you will be free of resistance. Yeah, you might need some help along the way, but there's no shame in getting help. In fact, those who actually get help are the most, I really value those who actually go, look, I'm ready to want to get help and support and be coached. They're the great people because they're willing to evolve themselves. It's when we think we know everything or we give up, that's where we do not succeed. So make that decision. Is 2020 going to be the year that you reclaim your passion, your purpose, your abundance, your health, your career, your business? to really level up in the success that you desire in the most efficient and most powerful way, because it's all within you. You must know your outcome, get clear on it, take that massive and inspired action. Be flexible in that behavior. Be aware of, am I getting results? If I'm not, do I see someone else? Do I look down a different avenue? Whatever it is, once we make that reevaluation, because now we're sensory aware of the things that we're doing, which is working and what is not working, we can refine ourselves. And then we have to just keep going all in on it. Be dedicated, be resourceful, and take action based on what is good and what is right. Never give in to fear. Never give in to failure, because every no will lead you to a yes if you carry on. Every so-called failure will be your greatest learning, and you can utilize that to inspire others. You can shine brighter because you've been in the darkness. It's what you bring from that you're willing to get out of that hole, to climb up, push through, and build yourself up to such a level that you become the example of what can be done, so you can create that legacy. Now, are you all in with me on that? It's okay if you're not, but as I'm speaking to you now, you gotta make a good decision. Whether it be now or maybe a few minutes, but you've gotta make a good decision based on what is good for your future. We only have that finite amount of time, so let's utilize it and do whatever it takes. So with that though, here's the interesting thing. It's been a few years since I've done this, but we are actually offering a new seminar. So this is actually going to be in San Diego, or between like North County, San Diego, between LA and San Diego, to make it super easy. And it's a 2-day, well, it's a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, where myself and my wonderful, brilliant, profound wife, Melissa Clough, we're gonna teach you. We're going to show you how to release negative emotions once and for all, how to let go of limiting decisions, therefore I mean limiting beliefs and the conflicts that are created within you, how to create your future in such an abundant way where you enjoy what you do every single day in purpose, being unstoppable. Now the thing is, it's obviously going to be limited seating. We don't do like big events, where it's just something that when I like that intimate kind of like being able to give you a hug. I want to be able to connect with you. I want to be able to speak to everyone there. In fact, the last one we did, we had like a nice social evening together as well, so we could just relax. But I want you to be there if you feel like it's the right time, and it's all about being born to thrive. If you want to be born to thrive this year to get what you want, here's what you need to do now. Go to www.josephclough.com. So that's josephclough.com. I have two kind of ways of getting me. It's got .info and .com, but this is .com. You won't go anywhere if you go to the .info one. It'd be like an error page. So there's josephclough.com/VIP. So the letters VIP. So that's josephclough.com/VIP, and you can get on the wait list. Now, benefits of the wait list. Number one, you get first priority before anyone else. Before I release it in a podcast, before it goes on YouTube, before it goes social media, before it even goes out to my newsletter. And if we're getting around 50 to 100,000 listens a month, then you're getting ahead of all those ears. Where it be my newsletter of 15, 20,000 people. We keep cleaning it to get it lower and lower, but we got a lot of people on there, so you get ahead of everyone. The other benefit is you'll get the cheapest, most discounted ticket, and I'm talking about coming to the event at pretty much cost. We're not in to make a profit out of this event. We may make a profit, but it's not about the profit. We're making the first round of people, I think it might be 25 people, the first round to be at cost level. So you can come up with what you think that may be, and we may even surprise you further. But you have to go to www.josephclough.com/VIP. When you go to that URL, it'll quickly redirect you to the page and you'll be able to sign up via email. You then watch out for our next email. That will probably happen a week from today, but we want you to have time to sign up to this and be on the wait list. And then before we let you know, so we're not going to just let you know and surprise and be rushed. We're going to actually give you send you another email and say, look, it's going to be at this time. That means you feel really supported through this. So if you want to be able to transform your life with a live in-person event and where you get to hang out with us, release all your issues, get your mind right so you get the results, go to www.josephclough.com/VIP. So that concludes this episode. And of course, let's just roll on to a few more words by myself. So I'll speak to you soon. Now, before we finish, I want you to go ahead and take a look at your life right now and ask yourself, is it giving you the success, the confidence, the abundance, and even the freedom? Sure, maybe you're making some good career progress, maybe making an okay to good living, and that's great. But if you're not where you want to be, in your emotional health and hitting your goals and achieving them, you've got to look at your life. Is this really what I want from it if I stay the same? Do you really want to have the self-certainty and confidence in your career, your business? And let me tell you what that looks like. You see, we have clients that move from where you are to where you know you could be. They once experienced imposter syndrome. They experienced the pain of feeling that they might get found out any day by now. And that's not even the real issue. That's touching the surface of the pain. With every dreading doubt, that inner critic will grow. It weaves into all areas of our life. It takes root into our mindset. And we set the compass to unconsciously get more of the same if we don't do something about it right now. You see, many of our clients felt the same way. They felt they were lost, they were unfixable, not enough, not capable. But the hidden unconscious cause was creating it all. What if you could let it all go in absolutely within 8 weeks? Even if you've had it for a few years to most of your life, if it were to disappear in just 8 weeks, what would that do for your family? What would that do for your career or business profession? What would abundance give you the freedom to do? Would the career progression you succeed in and thrive in make a big absolute change in your future and its stability? That security. What would it do for you to feel totally content and absolutely whole while crushing every one of your dreams and goals? To me, it's everything. It has to be everything. Otherwise, we fall into the never-ending cycle of doom, repeating itself over and over again. But there's got to be 3 vital components. You must know the hidden cause, the unconscious cause of all your pain, the freedom from it, and the success because of it. If you don't have all 3, then there's something missing. And I think most people do have that. Maybe you are missing all 3. But if there's a part of you screaming out for the absolute transformation, that you are a goal-focused professional, that if you could step out of the shadows, stop playing small, and fall into deep, unwavering certainty and self-belief and confidence, that you could have it all. It will be the most valuable, most impactful, the most important transformation of your life. Then I want to reach out to you. I want you to book an appointment to speak to us. And to do that, go to josephclough.info/go. And here's what's going to happen. We're going to talk to you about exactly where you are, your experience. We want to hear about all the stuff you've tried and it didn't work, and discover the real reason why it didn't work. We want to hear about your dreams and goals, and that would mean the world to you if you were to achieve them. We're going to help you get that clarity. We're going to get you clear on what's the best thing you can do for yourself. So go to josephclough.info/go. You see, although we've had 97% success so far, maybe the truth is we cannot help you. And if that's the truth, believe me, it's better to know that, so then we can point you into a different direction that serves you. But I bet you the truth is that you do have what it takes to be free and achieve all that you really desire. Your playing's too small. We need to step out of those shadows. You could be 8 weeks away from the most significant, impactful change in your life. You just need to give yourself permission to do it now. You need the strategy, you need the support. You need someone to guide you and hold your hand every step of the way and tell you exactly what to do. Because when you get that, everything changes. You get what you deserve, the absolute success. So go to josephclough.info/go so we can figure out how to build you into the unstoppable, self-confident, and achieve all that success you've been dying to build. You could become more than you've ever imagined and achieve more than you've ever expected. So let's talk about where you're stuck. Any questions that you have, the best thing to do is book a call. I can't answer those questions from this podcast until we get on the phone and figure it out. We've got to know more about you, get the clarity so we can get you to where you want to be. That's the real reason we want you to have this conversation with us. That's the reason there's no click buy and then hopefully everything will be okay. We need to understand you and see if we will deliver exactly what you desire. Believe me, we'll tell you if it cannot work for you. But if it can, we'll definitely show you how. It is going to be the most impactful conversation. It's better off getting that clarity. So go to josephclough.info/go. Book an appointment now and speak to us. Now, with that in mind, let's just make this happen. Speaking to your heart, you are more than you could ever imagine. So book that call, and I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks and goodbye.